Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them.
Kaylee.
Marc Cuban. Okay, I had to take a breath before this because this is so profoundly offensive. I worked for Donald Trump. I consider myself a strong woman. I consider those around me strong women. Kellyanne Conway, Brooke Rollins, Ivanka Trump, Hope Hicks, Sarah Sanders. That's before we get to the women that Donald Trump elevated to very high levels, like Nikki Haley, who still supports him, like Amy Coney Barrett, who he put on the Supreme Court, or the women currently around him. Susie Wiles comes to mind, Caroline Leavitt. That is so offensive. And you know why? Because it's not just about the women who worked for him. He said the women around Donald Trump. This comes right after the Joe Biden garbage comment. Okay, the women around Donald Trump. What about the women who vote for Donald Trump? Are they weak? Are they dumb? Did Marc Cuban just insult any woman who supports Donald Trump? Because it's a little, very small step from that. And this is an official Harris campaign surrogate, Marc Cuban. That is misogynistic in my view. Get out of here, Marc Cuban. Kamala Harris, he's your surrogate. I want to hear from you. Do you agree the women are weak and ineffective, whatever he said? Get out of here. And I can't wait to hear from you, Kamala.
Look, I don't know where Marc Cuban is today, but as a woman, I have questions. I want to know, are you big enough, are you man enough to apologize and take responsibility for what you said?
I doubt it. Yeah. The audacity behind that comment, the hubris behind it, the cavalier quality, how easily it rolled off his tongue, that he could, with a broad brush, afforded a billionaire, a reality TV star, to say to all of those who served in the military, in the administration with Donald Trump, those incredible, strong, intelligent female leaders, the best of us, the treasure, that they are not strong, that they are unintelligent, and to say it with a straight face, thinking it would be applauded, that is garbage.
Then a tweet comes out, Rob, if you want to play the clip with his apology. When I said this during the interview, I didn't get it out exactly the way I thought I did, so I apologize to anyone who felt slighted or upset by my response. As I said, it wasn't about Trump voters, supporters, or employees, current or former, and I set myself up for the 6-second soundbite. No excuses. Can't nail every interview. My skin is thick enough. What bothers me, though, is that so many of the comments or media in support of or against me has some level of insult attached to it, not just here, but everywhere. I'm not blaming anyone. We are where we are. Here's hoping that changes at least a little bit in a week. In the spirit of joy, I have to add that all the AI memes of me with the long hair cracks me up. So there is a positive. Good. So then he posts this out, trying to be positive about it. Good for him. And then Danica Patrick, Rob, I don't know if you have that clip or not. She responds because, Marc Cuban said there are no strong women around Trump's circle. I think that's the words, right? What he said.
Yeah.
Here's Danica Patrick. In a sport where she does the opposite of what the left supports, which on one end, allowing men to go compete against women. You know what Danica does? So I'm going to flip it on you. Men, I'm going to come and compete with you in your sport. What are you talking about, Danica? Only men race in NASCAR, not me. I'm going to come and compete with you guys. Oh, this is just a show. You'll never make it. And she did. And she was formidable racing amongst these guys. Danica Patrick. And here's what the great Danica Patrick had to say. Danica, please tell us what you're thinking. Go ahead, Rob.
So I saw that Marc Cuban went on The View, the gift that just keeps on giving, and said that Donald Trump does not like to have strong and intelligent women around him and that they intimidate him. First off, that's obviously wildly unintelligent. And second, as my own just anecdotal story, when I met him last week in Vegas at the rally for the first time, he said, "We need to get you a job." So am I not strong and intelligent?
By the way, very subtle,
nice,
respectful, gentle, kind.
Well, I know Mark very well. He's a very insecure guy. Can't hit a golf ball more than 50 yards. He's weak physically and mentally, as far as I'm concerned. But I've known him for a long time. He would call me in the White House incessantly. And finally, I just couldn't take his calls anymore. And then he went over to the other side. And he's a guy that wants publicity. When he said that, and he's totally retracted his statement, like, weak people always do. They retract their statements. But he was hit by some of the strongest, not human beings, women. He was hit by the strongest people that it wasn't men, women, it was women. He was hit by women that make men look like babies because many of the women that I deal with and that I have. And I could go over the list, but the list is long, including the fact that I happen to be married to a rather strong woman who just right now is the #1 bestseller in the whole wide world in her book, Melania. No, I've surrounded myself with women. I've given women chances, too. I mean, I had Kellyanne as the head of my 2016 big victory. Susie Wiles is strong. You know, she's the daughter of Pat Summerall, right? Good genetics there. And I have tremendously strong. In fact, I've been actually accused of the other. They said, couldn't you get women that aren't as strong? I have more problem the other way until Marc Cuban came along. But